All right, and we are recording. Ladies and gentlemen, how's my sound? Crisp and clear? Great. Thank you guys for confirming. Welcome. It is August 9th, 5:04 p.m. New York time. So, pretty quiet day in the market today, in my opinion. The Q's low volume day. We had a little gap down as we thought we would going into this algo line, and we're still hanging out on this trend line here, this previous channel. So we're just talking about no man's land. You're in a little bit of a no man's land situation here where you're getting tighter and tighter. You are going to get a move up or down. And guess what? Tomorrow is the day. Let's go straight into tomorrow's calendar because, I think the entire market is holding its breath for what could be a very interesting CPI number. So right before the market, right away, we have core inflation year over year, right? That's inflation without the price of energy. Inflation rate year over year, July, month over month, July. So we're looking for some pretty, you see here it says consensus in the middle on the third line. That's what we're looking for, right? That's what the market is expecting, 0.2. Doesn't mean the market goes up or down if it beats, matches, or goes below. That's just when you take a bunch of analysts and put them together, that's what you're getting, right? Core inflation, CPI for July, and then later in the day we'll get a little bit more stuff, but nothing crazy. If you're an energy trader, you're going to want to see these two numbers, the EIA. But other than that, that's tomorrow. So just keep in mind, I think it's middle of September is the next FOMC meeting, right? That's when we expect them to raise rates 75 basis points or 50 or 1 point, whatever they decide to do. We saw strong job numbers, and we want to know what inflation is going to do. Now, if inflation comes in lower than expected, that's what the Fed wants. And a lot of people believe it'll give the Fed a reason to maybe calm down on the interest rate hikes, right? I'm not saying they're not going to do a hike. They're just maybe they'll do 50 basis points, right, instead of 75. So people are going to be looking for that narrative. At the same time, it could be a sign of weaker growth. It could be a sign of a lot of different things. So today's inflation reading is important, but you're going to have one next month as well. Either way, the market's going to move after these are released early in the morning. So we'll be dealing with the consequences an hour later. Thursday is jobs, and then Friday, Michigan consumer sentiment's the big one, but we'll leave that for another time. Let's check our earnings calendar. Coinbase, look at these numbers, huge miss. From what I understand, it's all about crypto getting whacked, which is not that surprising. Holding up better than I expected, but this has been an extremely volatile name. So careful playing this one tomorrow. Look at these numbers. Pretty horrific, right? And then let's see. Let's go straight into the charts. Qs, as I said, coming off this algo line, bouncing off this trend line. Bit of a no man's land here. As long as we hold, we need the 318.19 for me is the magic number. I can't remember what Geronimo's level was today, but I think it was around 316ish or so. That was the level to hold. Low volume day again, right? So this is kind of encouraging for the bullish case. Not really saying much on the bearish case, but we are definitely just chilling up here waiting for news. Let's look at oil. Some of you were asking me about oil today. I think it was Lisa who asked about oil. So you have this big trend line here that we've been watching, right? We want to see how we react when we hit there. Reversal candle, higher doji candle, right? Now, when I think, okay, would you buy this chart or sell this chart, right? That's what I was asking people today. Now, here's where it's a little confusing, right? Okay, you're below the 200, fine, but you're bouncing off this algo line. The fundamentals point to maybe stronger oil, doji candle, but look at the strong energy names usually, right? Reversal candle on APA, not great. Exxon, not great. CVX, not great. Oxy, even with the Buffett, not great. PBR, not great. XLE, not great. OIH. Do you guys see a little pattern here? So these energy names are not confirming the move in oil. So it makes me think, okay, this could be just a dead cat bounce before you start moving lower. So keep an eye on oil, natural gas, beautiful ascending, descending flag, descending wedge, looks absolutely fantastic. UNG looks good. LNG looks really good. All things considered, missed earnings, which you wouldn't expect on something this in this industry, but hey. Oh, look at the revenue. Yeah, look at the revenue. Huge beat. As expected, GLNG moving as well, also a LNG name. Let's look at some other charts. No big currency moves. Bitcoin Lower high here, be careful. 10-year triple inside daily candle, right? That really tells you that we're waiting for news here. That's eventually going to move, of course, when CPI comes out. Let's look at Tesla. So we're going to do anatomy of a trade after this. So Tesla is going to be in focus. The low of today, 838.06, then 29th of July low, 837.30. That's what I'm looking at tomorrow to the downside. To the upside, 877.19, which is today's high. This 200 has clearly been resistance, so we're going to be watching that closely. Going to be watching the 100 and the 21 on the daily as well, and then maybe a move to 818.40. Let's hope, right? Moderna, that Novavax news. How did Novavax close? Ooh. Yeah, not great. So Moderna's giving back a lot of its run. Pretty ugly. This one is dropping onto my back burner list for sure. AMD. It gapped down with Nvidia and the rest of the market, but it actually still looks really good. Look at this. Look at these algo lines and look how you react to it, right? Bounce right off of it. Beautiful. AMD still looks good in the coming days. If you start breaking 98.05 and the market moves higher, you can see the upside. This is definitely the strongest of the chip names right now. Qualcomm, I liked this one for a bit. No longer like it. I'm going to ignore it. This is definitely, see Praveen, this is no man's land, right? If you're a swing trader, below the 200, but above the 100 and the 50, it's kind of ugly here, right? You got to just let this chop around and figure itself out. Amazon sitting pretty on the 8 on low volume. Nice. Baba, yeah, still overall a pretty clear picture where this one wants to go, in my opinion. Boeing tested the 8 for the first time in a while today. You really need to hold 162.33. Meta, very uneventful day. I got way too many lines on this one that I got to get rid of. Microsoft had a nice late day rally today, bouncing off the 8. This one could be a leader in the coming days. I would definitely watch Microsoft. This one's going to be bumped up to my hot list. NVIDIA. So we identified this gap, 169.13 to 165.80. It's actually on the intraday, so you actually really have to zoom in on this one. So if you look at the 15-minute chart between July 26 and 27, there is this little gap. We started to fill it today. Didn't go all the way, but hey, it was a good look nonetheless. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It looks like you want to bounce off the 50. You really have to hold the 50 now. If you don't, I can see more downside for NVIDIA. Netflix, nothing to see here. Google, nothing to see here. Different. Roblox had earnings. Ooh, Roblox down big after hours. Ugly. Costco. Costco looks really good in my opinion. It's not a name I like to trade ever, but you have this channel here, and you're at a kind of a very important point. So watch Costco maybe into tomorrow if you're into other names than Tesla. XBI. What an amazing run. This is, have you guys seen, this is up 21%, this ETF in, was that 5 trading days? Awesome. Pulling back from the 200 algo line, but quite nice. And then McDonald's. McDonald's can, looks really, really good into tomorrow if that's your type of name. This doesn't move much, but hey, if you're into a slower moving name, here you go. So that's pretty much all I got for today. Do you guys have anything you guys want to talk about? Any questions that are not related to Tesla? Because we will be doing a video after, so we'll save it for then. Okay, so let's go down the list. AA. Aiku, let me know what your position is, because I know you always do your own. Like, what are your options? What's your expiration date? Stuff like that. I don't need to know costs. That's up to you, but just so I have an idea of what you're looking at. This is a pretty chart if you think this is bottoming. I need a better way to do a head and shoulders on this. If you think this is bottoming, and I can't say if it is or isn't, right? What do I know? But look at this. Inside bar. Here's your... Oh, whoopsie. That's your trigger. You have a little gap. Do you have a gap here? You do have a little gap. So there you go. This is a nice chart, sir. You have this tiny gap right here. 52.39 to 52.57. So that for me is your first target. Second gap 54.75 to 55.56. So if you were to do a measured move, a la Geronimo, call it a $13 move from here. What is a $13 move? Yeah, $66 over time. Not impossible. But these gaps are what I'm looking for. Do you want me to take a picture of this and send it out, Rudy Davis? Got it? Cool. Yep. You guys know you can take a little picture up top on the screen, right? I just noticed this a couple weeks ago, but if you look at your charts, or my charts, top right, there's a little picture, and you can screenshot whatever you want. Pretty cool. Let's see. Good look on this. You know what, Rudy Davis? I'm going to add this to the list just because I think it's interesting. See how this one plays out. TTD. Yeah. Is this a Kathy name? I think it is, right? Given what the chart looks like, it probably is a Kathy name. Definitely an earnings name to watch for tomorrow. I don't even know what these guys do, to be honest. BA. So I'm long the 165 strikes expiring next week. Next week. 165. So you need Boeing to be... Are you puts or calls, Aiku? I'm assuming puts. Alright? So you need to be in this quadrant here. Yeah. So you need to be above here. So you basically really need a breakout of 170, 176. So you see how I drew this quadrant here? I like doing this with swing trades. It tells me that, right? You got to be basically up here. Sorry, I meant to say up here basically to be making money. Yeah, not impossible. Listen, you're holding the 8, and look, every time you hold it, you've been bouncing. So as long as this level holds, it looks good. You're still kind of an ugly weekly candle, in my opinion. But hey, still time in that weekly candle to change. Yes, my pleasure, Mr. Aiku. How did I change my trading? Shane, what does that mean? BJ, what is that? BJ's wholesale club? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have earnings coming up, Rudy, on... Well, you have about 9 days, but it's a nice chart. What does this mean? What is this? Fidelity, Shane. Active Trader Pro. It's a really good platform for me in my style of trading. Not every platform is good for everybody. Some people like their own platform, they want to stick with it, and that's fine. But for me, Active Trader Pro has been very beneficial to my trading and trading career. I mean, SSC was difficult, right? And toxic for me. So anyway, anything else? UDR. Oh yeah, poll. Thank you, Jason. Then, ladies and gentlemen, how was your day? UDR. While we're doing this. So before you say that, XLRE, this is the real estate fund, right? You're at the 100, right? Now look at your UDR. You're below the 100. So you're underperforming that specific ETF. So that's not what you want to see. And you have negative earnings here, apparently, right? Yeah, you missed pretty horribly. Well, not that horrible. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not great. So just my thoughts on that one. What did you guys think of trading today? I traded only the first hour and I was done. My last trade was 10:30. Get your votes in. 5 more seconds till I close it. Votes still coming in. Angel, I'm doing three contracts. I don't need, honestly, 5 makes me a little toxic, right? If I lose, I don't want to take those huge losses. 3 is my happy spot. I know I'm going to lose, on a really bad trade, maybe a point on Tesla. Like 99% of the time, that's my worst case scenario, right? So I can, take a point. That's fine. But most of my losses are in the, 20 to 40 cent range, 20 to 50 cent. And I win more than I lose, and my wins tend to be that 30 cent to $1, $1.50. So as long as I keep taking small losses, I'm a happy camper. Yeah, NUE looks way better. Yeah, well, you know, Angel, like I've said before, it's more important for me to maintain no toxicity than make an insane amount of money, right? Like, yeah, I could take 20 contracts, I'm sure, if I really wanted to, but I'd be an absolute wreck. Like, I don't have time for gray hair yet, right? It's not happening. So if I stick to 3, less of a chance of that happening. No very red today. That's really good. Here are the numbers. 56% green, 8% very green, flat 23%, not surprising on a day like today, and 13% red. Nice. Cool. Cool. All right, I'm going to stop the recording and we'll do the other show in a second.